coming our way. Let's take a look at the first game here that we'll break down on Thursday, and that's the Houston Cougars taking on the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona opens up as a short 2-point favorite, total 145.5. This will be just around 10 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday here. And Ralph, I thought we might get this, or it feels like this should be much closer to an Elite Eight Final Four matchup, but Houston's a 5 seed. What do you think we're going to get here against Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, Houston probably the anomaly. The seeding's putting them at a 5 seed. Ken Pom had them as the number 2 team in the country, ahead of Arizona. So some people might say, Houston could be favored in this game. I look at Arizona's lineup, and you have 4 NBA players playing, and it's like, holy hell. I mean, talent-wise, I think they should be a 4.5 or 5-point favorite. But you also look at Arizona, and boy, what a disconcerted effort in those first 2 games. 19 turnovers against Wright State, and they only forced 6. 16 turnovers against TCU, and they only forced 14. They gave up 20 offensive rebounds to TCU, and Houston's the number 3 offensive rebounding team in the country. So, those are the reasons that I would lean with Houston. The reason I lean with Arizona, though, is I look at Houston's body of work. They've only played 1 top 30 offense this entire year. 1. And that was Alabama, a game they lost 83-82. Houston is, again, a very good turnover team on defense, number 29 in the country. So with that said, I can't bet on Arizona until I see them play a clean game. And there's many teams that have gone through the first 2 rounds that have played down to the level of their opponents, turned it on, were talented teams, and went on to win the NCAA tournament. If Arizona wins it, absolutely no surprise to me. But I can't bet them with my money until I see that clean game. As far as Houston's involved, I think we're going to see a lower scoring game. But to me, Arizona, the better team on paper, I'd have to back them. Slight leans to the under, slight lean to Arizona.
All right, good stuff there. I mean, Steve, Houston is one of the very few teams that has the size, the athleticism to be able to go man-to-man with Arizona here. What do you think they do against the number 1 Wildcats?
Yeah, if you look at the current KenPoms, as Ralph said, they've got Houston number 2, Arizona number 3. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy to see them as a 5 seed. I've talked about it now for over a week that Houston was the most underseeded team in the tournament. And before the tournament began, they were basically a 1 seed if you looked at KenPom, and they were basically a 1 or 2 seed if you looked at the Saggregate ratings. So Houston is a 5 seed. I thought was a joke. And they took care of business. They've now won 5 straight, and they've covered 5 straight, including both tournament games. The key to this one, the reason I would lean Houston, is going to be pace. They play at one of the slowest half-court paces in the country. Arizona is the 5th fastest team in the country, so I do think Houston can slow them down. That could potentially frustrate the Wildcats a little bit. Game is also in San Antonio. Teams played in their home state for decades have been a long-term winning play on the blind against the spread. So this line might seem short to the novice bettor, a 5 seed against a number 1 seed, only getting less than a basket. But I think this is going to be a close game, and I think Houston can win it outright. And if they can slow this one down and ugly it up, it would make some sense. And with the total being at 145.5, I think if you do like Houston, it probably correlates a little bit to the under as well.
Yeah, Arizona's been a scoring machine too, Dave. I believe 81 in 8 straight now, at least 81 in 8 straight, and 12 of their last 13. So can Houston slow them down enough to win this one?
Yeah. First of all, on my number, I made it Arizona -1. So there's nothing there. I think the intangibles favor Houston. Number 1, the coaching. Look, you've got a first-year head coach on the Arizona side. Kelvin Sampson's been through this a million times. So I think there's an edge on the Houston side in game. Secondly, I mean, I'm sure I don't know if the Houston players watched Arizona play TCU, but I'll guarantee the coaching staff has watched that game and they're studying and passing along what they saw on game film, which was that Arizona could not keep TCU off the offensive glass. And the Cougars have to be frothing at the mouth at the opportunity to do the same thing there. And Then there's the one other intangible, though, that does favor Arizona. They're kind of lucky to be here at this point. I thought, and I didn't have a stake in the game, so there's no bias involved here. That was a foul on Arizona late in regulation. Clear as could be. No question about it, foul. TCU should have won that game. Arizona should be they should be sitting home now watching the rest of the tournament. They're kind of on a free roll, and that scares me because they clearly have not played their best basketball yet in this tournament. So I really don't know what to do. I'm glad my number is right on the actual betting number. It gives me an easy way out of this game. And I'm not even going to try and influence anybody with a guess. So I think we got to lean on Houston and lean on Arizona from Steve and Ralph, and I'm not going to break the tie.
I mean, you can't say enough about the job Coach Sampson's done, man. You lose Sasser early on in the season, and wow, great job there. Should be a good one, though. Arizona, Houston, guys.